The Akwaaba smile, an Accra tale of grace. The junction near the Kwame Nkrumah Circle was a beast, a roaring, sweat-slicked machine of steel and commerce. It was a kaleidoscope of perpetual motion, the scent of exhaust fumes mixed with grilling kelewele, the blare of gospel music from roadside stalls, and the constant chorus of hawkers' cries. Every day, the sun rose over Accra and found Abena already there, her basket balanced expertly on her head, filled not with gold, but with sweet ripe mangoes and bottles of iced pure water. Abna was 19, and her story was woven from the hard, unforgiving threads of Accra's periphery. She lived in a single room in a crowded compound in a neighboring suburb, and the profit from her sales was the only thing standing between her and hunger. Yet Abna did not carry the burden of her circumstances on her face. Her spirit was light, her smile, a genuine heart lifting thing that crinkled the corners of her eyes, was her most expensive commodity. She was known at the junction simply as Akwaaba, welcome. Whether a sweaty churchill mate was shouting for passengers or a frustrated driver was stuck in traffic, Abna greeted all of them with the same gentle, respectful dignity. Akwaaba say, God bless your hustle today, should say to the drivers, often offering a bottle of water before they even reach for their wallets. Her friend Kofi, who sold newspapers nearby, often shook his head in gentle exasperation. Abna, you give away your energy. That man with the tinted car, he just grunted at you. Why do you smile so wide? Abna would only tap her chest. Kofi, my situation is just where my body is. My heart is not trapped here. My mother always said, "Sɛ Nyame pɛ a, wobɛyɛ adeɛ." If God wills it, you will achieve great things. Kindness costs nothing, but it pays the best interest. Another vendor, Alice, who prefers sharp elbows and louder pitches, often soft scoffed. Talk to me about payment, Abna, when you can afford shoes that don't have holes. That attitude doesn't pay for Wache. Abna would simply give Alice a cool bottle of water on a scorching afternoon. A gentle, a gesture Alice would always accept with a mumbled thank you. Abna understood that people's pain often spoke before their heart did. She was kind, not naive, respectful, not weak. She simply believed that her present reality was a temporary script, and she refused to let it taint the character she was writing for herself. Lawrence Ofori-Atta was a man who lived in a different part of Accra, the affluent side. He was the CEO of a successful logistics firm, driven daily from his home in Cantonments to his glass and steel office tower in Airport City. His world was one of quarterly reports, global markets, and high stakes meetings. His driver, Emmanuel, knew the routes and the moves of the city like the back of his hand. For 30 minutes, Lawrence had been stuck in a particularly irritating traffic jam at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle station. It was the kind of gridlock that made his temples pound. He noticed Abna. He didn't notice her because she was particularly loud or insistent. He noticed her because of her consistency. While other vendors darted nervously, sometimes arguing over territory, Abna moved with a quiet, almost regal grace. One afternoon, Lawrence asked Emmanuel, the girl who sells water, the one they call Akwaaba, does she ever look tired? Emmanuel glanced in the rearview mirror. Sir, she always looks like that too. She's different, respectful, even when the customers are rude. Everyone hustles, but she does it with grace. Well, my wife says she has a good spirit. Lawrence watched as a wealthy lady driving a sleek black SUV snapped at Abna, claiming that the mangoes was bruised, and refused to pay for the water she had already drunk. Abna simply lowered her head and said, I am so sorry, madam. Please have a blessed day, and walked away, absorbing the unjust loss of income without a single frown. Lawrence watched the interaction and was momentarily stunned. He was someone who valued her Here was someone who valued her peace and her respect more than being right. He found himself anticipating the sight of her golden brown skin, her slender figure, and that impossible smile. It was a beacon of light in the stressful and often cynical atmosphere of the rush hour. The miracle, when it came, did not arrive on a silver platter. It arrived with a loud, sudden crash of thunder and a sky that opened like a broken dam. It was 4:30 p.m., the peak of the evening traffic. The rain hammered down, turning the dusty road into a churning, muddy river in minutes. Everyone scrambled for cover. Lawrence, caught in the downpour, was securely protected inside his luxury vehicle, watching the chaos. Abna had just enough time to duck beneath the small, rickety awning of a nearby kiosk. Then she saw him, an elderly, half-blind peanut seller, Masa Joe, whose small wooden tray of roasted peanuts had been overturned by the sudden gust of wind. The elderly man was fumbling, trying to gather the damp, scattered inventory that represented his entire week's earnings. Without a moment of hesitation, Abna dropped her own basket. She grabbed the large, colorful plastic tablecloth she used to cover her wares overnight, her only substantial piece of dry material, and didn't use it to shield herself. Instead, she rushed over, knelt in the mud, and used the cloth to shield Massa Joe's remaining peanuts from the deluge. She helped him scoop up the rest, murmuring reassurances in Tree. And yet she ye why. Minutes later, Abna was drenched, water streaming off her face, but the smile was still there, a soft, encouraging presence for the old man. Lawrence saw the entire scene, the pure selflessness, the genuine love of neighbor, the total lack of calculation. He realized then that he wasn't just admiring a beautiful face, he was witnessing the finest human character. Lawrence didn't hesitate this time. He opened his door into the torrential rain, ignoring the protests of Emmanuel, and strode through the mud toward the kiosk. Abena, he said, his voice deep but steady, pulling a fresh handkerchief from his pocket and offering it to her. Abna looked up, shielding her eyes from the rain. She recognized the man from the huge black car. Good evening, sir, she replied, her voice soft but unwavering, even shivering slightly. Akwaaba, she said. My name is Lawrence, said Lawrence, handing her his thick, embossed business card. You are the most remarkable person I have met today. I've watched you for weeks. I didn't see a vendor today, Abena. I saw a soul of pure gold. He didn't offer her money. Instead, he made an offer to her character. I have a foundation that works with young entrepreneurs who show exceptional integrity. I am not offering you a handout. I am offering you an opportunity to build something solid based on the principle you live by. Please call me when the rain stops. Abna called him 2 days later, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and hope. They met at a quiet open air cafe near her compound, a place Lawrence would never normally frequent. Lawrence was direct. Tell me, Abna, why did you risk your only dry cloth and ruin your clothing for Massa Joe, who didn't have the chance to pay you back ever? Abna paused, staring her team. Sir Lawrence, the clothes are just clothes. They will dry, or I will buy new ones eventually. But Sir Joe, he his work is his life, and he is half blind, and his pride is all he has left. To watch him lose everything when I could cover just a part of it, that would have ruined my spirit more than the rain ruined my dress. My mother taught me that poverty is only an external condition. The richness of your heart is your choice. Lawrence leaned back profoundly moved. That richness of heart is what I want to invest in. Your education is good, but your character is better. I need people like you to help run a mentorship program for young women. Their connection deepened, built not on her former need, nor on his wealth, but on a bedrock of mutual respect. Lawrence saw his own stressful world through Abner's eyes and began to understand the quiet joy found in simple human interaction. Abena, for her part, brought grace and warmth into Lawrence's sometimes cold and analytical world. The foundation project began, and Abna excelled, but the greatest gift was the love that blossomed between them over the months and years. It was a love that transcended their different realities, a testament to the fact that character is the only thing that cannot be bought or sold. After 2 years, Abna was no longer selling mangoes at the junction. She was running the foundation's outreach program, her voice now respected in boardrooms, her face still wearing the same humble, beautiful smile. She married Lawrence in a joyous ceremony that was part traditional Ghanaian fanfare, part quiet Thanksgiving. When Abna drove past the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, she always saw Kofi and Alice. She would stop her car, jump out, and greet them. Alice would look at Abna dressed in bright, elegant kaba and slit, and she'd finally understand. Abena, Alice once whispered, how did you do it? Abena took her hand, her eyes glistening with gratitude, not pride. I did nothing, Alice. I only trusted. You see, the Bible says weeping may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. No condition is permanent. God sees the heart, and sometimes a miracle isn't about what you lack, but about what you choose to keep your kindness, your respect, and your faith. Her life was proof that even from the dustiest corners of Accra, the spirit that shines brightest will always, always find its way into the light. The end.